Hey there everybody, Aveya here. It's around this time in the year where everyone starts talking about taking a look back throughout the year, and we're specifically talking about calendar year, so January of 2025 through now December of 2025. And given that basis, I've created a sheet that outlines a format based off of two different distinctions. One being a more professional side, the usage of this channel and the growth of everything that I've done. And the second aspect is going to be more on my personal life. So really taking a look back in both perspectives from the beginning of this year to now. Without further ado, let's dive in. And looking at the time of today, it's actually Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas Eve to you all. Though in this current time, I was not able to have a ton of decorations, which I would have loved to do that, but that will certainly happen next year. Without further ado, let's dive in. Welcome back, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve to you all once again. And we're now going to take a look at my official year in review for 2025. As I already stated before, this is going to be the difference of progression from January of 2025 to December 2025. And this document will not only be preserving the historical value of the impact that I've had in the previous year, but also it's a good way for me to look back and realize how much things have changed over the years. So let's go on to the first section. And this is going to be about the AveyaZ YouTube channel. So let's go over some channel metrics here. And as of right now, none of these are truly going to be magnificent, but that's the point of today, is to be able to showcase that I have created this and I have started this journey. And oftentimes when you're taking a new journey and a step into something completely new, there's a slow process. This happens to be one of those as well. So diving into the metrics here, my first video was posted on August 27th of 2025. To date, currently within this year, I have posted 12 videos, which also happens to be the total videos that I've ever made, given that I just started the channel this year. Subscribers so far, there's a total of 7 subscribers on the channel. And out of those subscribers, of course, like I already mentioned, the 7 of them all came from this year. And as for total views associated to the channel, we've reached 74 views. Other channel metrics, and this is really the foundation of why I was creating the material in the first place. So let's go through it. Total number of document links created. This is attached to the all available links document in the description of my channel, and as well as the video. 9 total documents created. 2 of them, in addition to those documents that I've created, there were 2 graphic tools that you can actually utilize for your own means. And I use them for myself as well. So therefore, given those measurements, you add the 2 together and you get a total of 11. But there was also 1 additional link within that document that is to a approximate 4-minute long YouTube video showcasing how to upload and download documents from the channel to do the friend portfolio. Not a bad metric given how long I've been here and how long it's taken me to create some of this content. Not bad at all in my perspective. And also, for starters, this channel is run by a single person, yours truly, and really taking the time on the side to be able to do this as well with everything else that happens in my personal life. It can be difficult at times, but nonetheless, I continue to come back, continue to post more detail, and that is something I will continue to do. Number of original characters fully established into AveyaZ, not just written into lore. There were 4 characters, and that was represented as a YouTube short in this channel, and one of those characters had an official debut from the AveyaZ character creator tool that I made earlier this year, one of those 2 graphic tools. The number of characters I've rated within the other tool being the AveyaZ character Audit, there was 1 in that video, and it was for Virgil from Devil May Cry. Number of characters created using the AveyaZ character creator tool, which is also the one that had an official debut, was none other than AveyaZ Delga, the character that was created based off of myself in a fantasy story. Next part, going on to the AveyaZ YouTube channel, and I have the channel creation date. I created this channel as of June 9th, 2025 this year. And I've had a lot happen from the day of June 9th up to today. So therefore, that's why there's only been so many videos created. Other milestones that I really love to discuss here. I managed to drop the official showcase of the story, AveyaZ, from Birthright to Retribution, was released on Thanksgiving, according to the United States days of this year, which was November 27th, 2025. Second milestone that I have here is created the friend portfolio activity, and I also showcased my series of it. The My Reality Character Blueprint was established on September 25th, 2025. The Player's Log, part 2 of that friend portfolio activity, was established on October 20th, 2025. And then last but not least, the showcasing of my friend portfolio on this channel was officially launched on November 17th, 2025. And for any of those who are curious, if you don't know what the activity is, check it out on the channel, and within my links, you can actually pull and view my current documentation of that stuff as well. Then the third and last other milestone, I've created an established progression system of the tiers and classes to the AveyaZ lore of the story, and that was showcased on November 19th of 2025. Overall, the verdict on AveyaZ is as follows. AveyaZ has been a very worthwhile project since the very beginning, and it has officially established a dedicated part of my persona. And I truly mean that to this moment. And what you're about to see on the aspects of my personal life, doing the entire creation of this YouTube channel and making the original material aspects that have gotten to me to this point has significantly helped me through the processing of all the other things that I've done throughout this year. So now on to section 2, and this is going to be in regards to my personal life. The first one, unfortunately, is actually not good. Though there were other negative circumstances that have occurred to me throughout this year, I did not feel the need to discuss it here, so therefore I've kept it off. But starting with here, this has been the second longest unfortunate unemployment streak to date for me. I have been unemployed since the middle of September 2025, and the longest streak before this moment in time was back in 2022, and it lasted for about 6 months between January through June. Though there was an opportunity in between there, but it was short term. It didn't really pan out too much in that moment in time. So therefore, overall, I just state officially, it was as if I was unemployed the entire duration. Now, the second part is a good thing to be able to celebrate for me, and it is the fact that I have made the highest income ever in a single year up to this point recently. And as of July 2024, I was making an annual amount that is equivalent to $60,000, which is the highest income I've ever made in a single year. And that was as an accounting supervisor. The third thing to look back to for the year 2025, and that is going to be all of the home renovations I've completed in 2025. As of March 13th of 2024, I had purchased this home, and it was a complete fixer-upper, and it was 50% below the median house price at the time, which, going by that justification, you could tell that you could look in the jurisdiction of the area that you live in, and if you imagine what the median house price is of your area, knock that down in half. Yeah, what do you imagine that was like, right? So the other things that I've been able to do for this year in 2025 was I've added new flooring throughout 60% of this house. As you can see right behind me, there's a mixture between both carpet and tile that was added to replace damaged hardwood floors. I had additional foundation repair that was completed, and along with those same area where the new flooring was done, I also had painted the walls throughout those parts as well. Very happy about that, by the way. It made a massive difference of living in this place. The fourth thing looking back onto for the year 2025, that is I went to YomaCon 2025 convention. That was it was the first weekend in November. And during that weekend long event, I had a great time. It was a wonderful experience. I managed to go to several meet and greet opportunities from various individuals, regardless of the number of subscribers or the following basis that those individuals had as streamers. It was still just a wonderful opportunity to be able to speak to these individuals. I also managed to purchase a few souvenirs. It's all artwork, and sooner or later I'm going to get them hung up here on this main wall here. And then also more on that, I'm hoping to actually expand the amount of LED lighting that is attached to this wall, making a mixture between artwork and LED wall. Does that make sense? It also makes finishing out this fantastic studio. Review number 5 for my personal life, and this is going to be the fact that I've created the AveyaZ friend portfolio. I know that's more associated to the YouTube channel, but there's a lot of characteristics that have infected me in my personal life. For one, I was able to establish a fully summarized file of all of my internal attributes of character, as well as being able to easily tell somebody my top 5 attributes of character. That's a huge deal. Not many people, out of any of the people that I've brought that question to and say, what's your top 5 attributes of character? Not a single person has been able to do that except myself. So what other things did I learn out of this? My personality type, I already knew it, but more set in stone now. My learning style, I was well aware that I was an auditory learner, but then it allowed for more exposure to how I can better utilize it. I was able to better establish my value system in the fact that, yes, I absolutely prioritize my relationships above everything else. Unfortunately, I've not been able to provide my best efforts to my relationships throughout this year, but that's because of the other mechanics and downturns that have happened throughout the year. It happens because not only am I a human being, I'm not perfect. And when you start seeing other factors within your life that start to downgrade a bit, it can really have a detrimental effect to the relationships that you have as well. And as I mentioned just a little bit ago, I've been able to easily state my top 5 attributes of character. Dominion, which is more of a representation of optimism more than anything else, if I were to use a better word that's more generalized and well known. So optimism / dominion, resolve, charisma, empathy, and discipline. When it came to the part 2 aspect, when creating the player's log, I've been able to manage a lot of my top favorite things in designated categories like in video games, TV shows, movies, foods and beverages, musics or songs, specifically from games, artists, and films. And specifically, I have a top 10 count now. I can't name those off the top of my head, but I can certainly tell you which ones they are, just not the designated order. And lastly, my favorite characters of all time in that same genre of games, films, and movies. Review number 6, and it's the fact that I've been able to strengthen some of my closest relationships. Unfortunately, not all of my relationships, which is part of the fact of those momentary downturns. It is what it is, but it doesn't mean I can't do that in the next year, which I certainly plan to. And honestly, it was all thanks for the creation of the friend portfolio activity, not only of me going through and showcasing it to other individuals, but really having those discussions with those people in my close circle of friends. Review number 7, I've managed to improve my body composition. As of towards the ending of last year, I was hovering around a 24% for a male body composition, which is getting along the lines of being overweight and just not feeling the best all the time. And this year, as of recently, I found that I'm now at about 15%. I could be a little bit lower now, maybe hovering towards 14%, but not sure. I haven't had that assessed, so I can't guarantee that, but the fact remains the same that it is a significant improvement. Along with the fact that when I was employed, I was working a desk job, and it's really difficult to be able to improve your body composition when you work a desk job. Just saying. Do you see a lot of accountants out there looking jacked or shredded or anything like that? Not really. If they do, it's by their choice, and it's not easy to do that. And overall, with the improvements to my body composition, I have significantly increased my strength as well in every aspect. On to the 8th part to a review for this year, and this is the Steam Replay 2025 metrics, which is honestly part of the reason why I made this video in the first place, because it gave me a great idea, which is towards the holidays, when I get to the time of spending time with friends, family, and everything else, I'm not going to be sitting here making YouTube videos that heavily during the holiday season. Well, the Steam Replay for 2025 really showcases all the things that you've done throughout the year, and I thought to myself, that would be a great idea to really determine it as both business professional perspective of making the channel and seeing the channel's growth, but then also establishing more personable, relatable context with all of you and showcasing a little bits on my personal life as well. So Steam Replay, what do we got here? The total number of games I've played on Steam this year is 37. The top 3 game genres involve turn-based tactics, zombies, and Souls-like. And when it comes to the top 3 games I've spent the most time playing this year, number 1 was The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. Number 2 is Reverse Collapse Codename Bakery. Also happens to be my favorite game of all time. And number 3 is Age of Empires 2, the Definitive Edition. The 9th and final review for my personal life is the fact that I've established a true YouTube studio and the AveyaZ YouTube channel this year, and that has been a wonderful journey altogether. So the verdict on my personal life is that though there were several serious downturns throughout the year, I can humbly say that I understand myself beyond any means than ever before. And actually, as a bonus that I forgot to put on here, I became a certified business and entrepreneur coach this year, sometime around in April. That was also another reason that prompted me to the creation of the YouTube channel. The official finale for this year in review of 2025, the overall verdict is that 2025 is officially recognized as the most volatile year of my entire life of 28 years. Having some of the lowest lows, but some of the greatest highlights, being the creation of the YouTube channel and being able to experience everything that I've done with it. The official title for 2025, in my terms of my life and my perspective, will be From Birthright to Resolve, The Great Rebirth. And how did I come up with that? The official story for the AveyaZ lore of the channel is called From Birthright to Retribution. So I've changed it up a little bit and I've called it From Birthright to Resolve. And there you have it. That is my official AveyaZ year in review for 2025. And truly, I believe a lot of people could benefit by making something like this within the month ending December of 2025. If you are a YouTuber of any sort, or you own a business of any kind, or even if you just want to be able to advertise in some way that really showcases a more personable way of getting with an audience, then this could be something that you could utilize and use as a basis or an outline to then be able to implement it in your terms as well. And this would allow for you to be able to connect with your audience on a much deeper level. It feels personable. And by the end of it all, what it does for me is help me retaliate back to the symbolism of this channel, unity, as well as to change the hearts of many, one person at a time. Thanks for being here, and Merry Christmas Eve. Take care.